Now.
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 No?
Now.
Now. Now. Now.
It's
It's your time.
your time.
My time. My time.
Your time.
My time.
Your time. Your time. My time. Now is your time.
You have the choice to make changes, and it starts with an action. You take the first step, and that's where we see that leadership, it is not a position. Yang namanya leadership is an action. Pemimpin dan pimpinan beda. Pemimpin dan pimpinan. You have so many pimpinan or leaders, they sit at the very top, but do they have the leadership? Apakah punya jiwa kepemimpinan? What kind of activities that would reinforce or make his positive areas much more stronger?
Maybe joining a club or something like that that has activities, maybe, but
Okay.
I still don't know.
Farel, you are going to say something?
I think maybe to reinforce have a holiday together, like go to Bandung together, holiday, do activity
okay.
together.
Okay. I think what Farrell means is having a bonding quality time with friends, miss. So that I agree.
Now, the difference between interest rate swap and the currency swap, at least three things. First, currency will be different. Yeah, and then the interest rate, both fixed rate. Before in the interest rate swap, the interest rate is one fixed, one floating. Yeah. Here, the interest rates, both fixed rate. And then in the beginning and in the end, there will be exchange of cash because the currencies are different. Okay? Let's say we have two companies A and B. Let's say this is A, and the company A, and then this company B, company B. Okay? So let's say company A and company B want to enter into currency swap. What does it mean? B will have to give loan to A. Let's say the amount is 14 billion, and A will give amount to B with the amount of $1 million because the exchange rate is 14,000 kan. So using the current exchange rate, these two amounts are equivalent using the current exchange rate. Nah, the next picture, use the different filter. Coba, saya lagi pakai Zoro nih. You can choose your different filternya. Mau pakai apa terserah.
So for today's presentation, it will start with my class of Introduction to Marketing. I will explain a little bit about my students. Yeah, my students came from Introduction to Marketing, so they learn only from the basic of the marketing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable Professor M. Amanwira Kartakusuma, MSc PhD, the Executive Director of Ipmi International Business School, the Honorable Miss Lita Susanti PhD, the Honorable Miss Rifa Zahir Shah SEMSI, the Honorable Miss Hidrotu Naim MPA PhD, all of the faculty members, Ipmi student, all Izhar student, and all participants. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ipmi now, the topic of successful entrepreneurs before hitting 30. As you know, we will learn many lessons from our speakers that have becoming entrepreneurs before they hit 30 years old. First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jasmine Salsabila, or you can call me Jasmine, and I will be the MC for today's event. Before we start our session today, let me inform you of the code of conduct during this event. We would like to inform you that this webinar is being recorded Participant microphone must be turned off during the event unless it's being asked to be turned on. Any question from the participant should be written in the chat box. Do not display camera image, pause, no write offensive and inappropriate content throughout the webinar. And lastly, please turn on your camera during the photo session. Before we start, let me inform you about our agenda today. The agenda will be a sharing session with Nazneen Judge and Kano Basmeleh, and then continue with the Q&A and discussion session. Last but not least, we will have a game session, and the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Indonesia Raya kindly be in order. To open our webinar today, let us hear the opening remarks from the President of Ipmi Executive Student Board, Holly Rema. So, Kak Holly, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Jasmine. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable Professor Aman Wiratakusuma, the Executive Director of Ipmi International Business School, the Honorable Ms. Yulta Susanti, PhD, the Director of Academic Affairs of Ipmi International Business School, the Honorable Ms. Ritva Syahricha, the Director of Resources of Ipmi International Business School, the Honorable Ms. Hidratul Naim, MPA, PhD, the Director of Partnership, Academic, and International Program Development, and all Ipmi faculty members, all research students, and all participants. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining our events tonight, Successful Entrepreneur Before Hitting 30. First, let me introduce myself. I am Holly Rema Siantoro. You can call me Holly, and I'm the current president of Ipmi Executive Student Board. And Iesb vision is to develop interest and talents for students and also create a positive impact. And this event is one of the programs that can be done to achieve our vision. So it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you all to this event. And I'd like to express my greatest gratitude to Ipmi that has supported us in many aspects, so we're able to create this event. And thank you so much for the committee for all the hard work to realize the webinar. I would also like to thank you, our speakers, Kak Nazneen and Kak Ricky, for taking the time in your busy schedule to share your knowledge with us. And then I'd like to say thank you for all participants here for joining our webinar. Nowadays, there are more people who want to be an entrepreneur, especially youth. And one of the reasons why is because by becoming an entrepreneur, it will give us independence, it will give us autonomy, and also more freedom to follow our dreams. But of course, the road is not that easy. There are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of obstacles that you have to face before you can become a successful entrepreneur. So today we invite these two amazing speakers to help us understand more about entrepreneurship, and also we can learn more from their experience. I really hope that this webinar will bring you a new perspective, a new insight, as well as motivated us to become an entrepreneur. And for those who are still afraid or still unsure, let me close my remarks here by sharing you the quote by Mark Twain. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. So instead of just doubting yourself, let's start together and move towards our dreams. Thank you very much and have a nice session.
Thank you, Kaholi, for the remarks. Process to next session. Let us hear remarks from the Executive Director of Ipmi International Business School, Professor Amanullah Kartakusuma, MSc, PhD. With all respect, the time and screen is yours, Prof.
Masih di mute, Prof.
Sorry, Prof. Prof, I'm sorry, you're still muted.
Still muted, Prof.
Okay, works now?
Yes, very good, Prof.
Okay. Well, it's raining in Bogor, so it's a little bit chilly. Anyway, thank you, Jasmine. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear Holly, as the president of the Ipmi Executive Student Board, my colleagues, Ibu Ita, Ibu Rifa, Bu Sidro, and Bu Lisa, faculty members, dear students and participants. It's always a great pleasure and honor for me to again engage with your activities, especially when you are also trying to pick up a very challenging topics for tonight, which is how they make successful entrepreneurs before hitting 30 years old, of course. I would also to appreciate the presence of the speakers. Say hi to Nazneen and also to Kano. Thank you for participating in these programs, and to Ricky as the later on, to Ricky and to Nazneen as the speakers, and of course to Draft as the moderator of this event. It is a very challenging and interesting topic about successful entrepreneurs before hitting 30. Why? I think it's important because the idea is coming from you, the students, and we are happy to see how the students to become creative, how they are become more sensitive in looking for new opportunity in the futures, how you can establish the working collaboration with companies and professionals. And now you are inviting one of our alumni, which is Nazneen, alumni from BBA and also MBA programs, and Mr. Ricky as the founder and director of PT Omiyagi. So this is reflecting how proactive and creative that you are trying to find the right partners, the right resource person to be discussed with and inspire us through this webinar. I'm encouraging also to all students to be confident and eager to explore the new challenging opportunities, especially in the era of COVID-19 pandemics. We have to be very positive, always positive thinking, optimistic, and willing to work hard. Age is not becoming the obstacles. As you said it before 30. So it doesn't matter, you can be successful when you are still 24 years old, 22 years old. So all opportunity is open. Now it's up to you when you have the very strong determination, passionate, and perseverance. So I'm so grateful and very fortunate in the last 2 weeks probably. attended with many inspiring events. Last week, I attended the UN Global Food Summit System under the United Nations. And also this week, I attended, especially this morning, I attended 3 conferences on food and nutrition, sustainable agriculture, and health, advance on the health science and medicine, and also about the the importance of the environmental and climate change. So I think this also reflected to me the key for success as entrepreneurs. I think first we believe on our taglines: fast, sharp, and relevance. But I think we should add one more, which is plus innovation. And I'm happy that in Ipmi we already have established one of the very important unit, which is innovation lab. So with this one, I think we have a very complete coverage of what kind of in the future that
I think Professor Aman has raised. You're breaking up, Professor Aman.
Innovation is now the competitive power of
I think Prof. Aman his connection is really unstable. Jasmine?
Yeah, it's okay, Miss. So we're going to next session, Miss. With the photo session, I think we're going to with Professor Aman. So let's enter to the main session. But at this part, I will be assisted with my friend Dhruv. Okay, Dhruv, the time is yours.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear faculty members, and everyone present here. Thank you for taking the time to attend this webinar. Now, without any further ado, let's just please introduce our first guest speaker. Welcome, Nazneen Judge. So Nazneen is the co-founder of Kano Creative Production. She is also the Ipmi MBA Alumnus 2018 and the Ipmi BBA Alumnus 2012. So with all done and said, there's a video for Nazneen and we're gonna play that. So,
Dhruv, hold on, Dhruv. Just can we? Aman has entered the room again. I think we should invite Aman again. Aman, it seems like your internet is a little bit unstable in Bogor.
Yeah, that's no problem. Sorry about this. Yes, we have rain in Bogor now.
It would always happen like
Anyway.
this. Please do.
Well,
remarks.
Just another few, another few comments. Sorry for the interruption. So again, we from School of Business and to achieve our mission as the and also how that we can
another bad.
How that we can take the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sing connection?
This is better, Prof.
Okay, so I just turn off my video. Okay, so what we would like to do is encouraging when you are talking about the entrepreneurship. So please capitalize, maximize the opportunity of having this lab. And we do have a lot of connection with many other universities and also industries that we can, again, encourage the student to get involved, especially later on when we are also implementing the freedom in campus, freedom for learning. So give the student more opportunity to interact with the professionals, with the the industries and also the government. So by having this ecosystem, I'm hoping that our school uh, facilities and programs will facilitate the establishment and the achievement of your dream to become the successful entrepreneur before 30 years old. And the role of the Ipmi Executive Student Board is very important. So I'm happy to hear the speech from Holly. So she has the vision how to support and to work together with all students, group to approach this objective, and working together closely with faculty members and management at Ipmi. I'm hoping that the topic of this seminar is not only seminar, but also is going to be implemented in your academic programs, in your school programs during your work at Ipmi International Business School. So lastly, once again, we'd like to congratulate to all of you, all the speakers, moderator, and student board's management, and all our Ipmi students. Thank you so much. Have a successful deliberation. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much, Prof, for the remarks. Before we go to the next session, so all participants, please turn on your camera because we will have a photo session. This photo session will assisted by Kanadia. Kanadia, could you help us, please?
Hello, everyone. Please turn on your camera.
Okay, everyone, let's enter to the main session. But at this part, I will be assisted with my friend Ruth. Okay, Ruth, the time is yours.
All right. So hello, everyone, again. Thank you, Prof. Aman, for your lovely words. So, right. So thank you for attending and taking the time to join the webinar. Now, as I just introduced Judge, now we're going to have a video. There's a video on her. If you may, please. All right. Thank you for the video. And now I would like to give the time and opportunity to Ka Judge. So the time and floor is yours. You may now begin.
Okay, first of all, the video wasn't finished. So, all right, that's okay. So thank you so much for having me. It's always good to be back in events like this with Ipmi. Maybe you can present my presentation now. Can you show my slides? Do you have it?
I think they're on it since there's a technical difficulty. So, how are you, Judge?
I am good. I've been very busy with stuff, but I'm good. Thank you for having me for this session. It's such an honor.
Yeah, it's an honor to host you too. All right, there it is. All right.
Okay. Um, you know, it's an honor to be in this show, but it's also an honor to have the panel with Kariki, which is also a friend of mine and also a client of Kano. So this is so exciting. Can you put this in full size? Okay, I guess it's okay. All right, so please let me introduce my name for those of you who don't know me. My name is Naz or Nazneen. I am the business director of Kano Creative Production or PT Ruang Kreatif Kano. I am also an alumni. I am a bachelor and also a master graduate of Ipmi. And yeah, so today I guess I will be sharing my storyline of how I end up with my business. Okay. All right, so in the video production, we call it the storyline. So that's why I put it here as the storyline. Next. All right, so let me introduce my background first. I come from a business family. By that, I meant that my dad is an entrepreneur, and you know, business has always been something so close to me since I was very young. I was born and raised in Jakarta. I was born in 1994, so I'm now 26. And I am the second child of 4 daughters. And 2 of my sisters are also in Ipmi, graduated, and also now 1 still in Ipmi. And, you know, education has always been so close to me since very young. So education played a big role in me personally. As you may already know, I have some business degrees, and living in different countries was something that I feel is also an education for me. So I have lived in different countries since I was 17. So when I was doing my 3rd year of high school, I lived in Singapore and I was only 17. And then after that, I have lived in Finland for like half a year. And then I have also lived in France for another half a year. So I think living in different countries and, you know, meeting different kind of people with different backgrounds also exposed me to different kind of perspectives, lifestyle, and different kind of views, which is very important to how I see things today. And I've always had, you know, business dinner talks since I was very young. Since I have mentioned, my dad is an entrepreneur, so he has always been giving me, you know, he has always introduced me to business since I was very young. So we would be talking about what kind of business would work, and maybe we should try this business. There's this kind of trends, things like that. So I think my first business was when I was in like 2nd grade in elementary. I was selling bracelets, and then also in junior high school, I was selling, you know, pocket bags, things like that. And so trying out businesses has, you know, has been the experience that I was exposed to since very young. So next. Okay, so after I graduated from Ipmi with a bachelor degree, I immediately joined my dad's business, which is in jewelry sector. And I spent 3 years with him, you know, trying out different strategies, you know, getting on with the operation, things like that. And I knew that I wanted to quit on my 3rd year because I felt like the space for me to grow was sort of like, you know, stopping. But at the same time, it was hard because, you know, they were sort of like dependent on me at that time. So every time I wanted to quit, it was sort of like impossible because everyone was telling me no. So I knew that I needed to quit anyways. Back then, I had this poster in my room saying that only dead fish goes with the flow. And I knew that I was that dead fish. So I knew that one day I wanted to quit. but there was no perfect moment for that. And not until I went to France. So when I did my exchange in France, I knew that I had to quit the job that I had, which is my dad's company. And I did it, but I was also afraid because I knew that when I came back, I wasn't going to be able to work, and I didn't have any job back then. So I did quit the job, but I also, I also started to list down the resources that I had. Resources meaning friends with competencies, friends who work in companies, and things that I knew that I could do after I come back to Indonesia. So I didn't have any capital. I finished all my money in Europe. So, but I knew that I had resources, which is my network. Okay, so I listed those down. Next. So one of the resources was my friend who had talent in the videography industry. He had the creative talent, but I knew he didn't have the business talent. So I asked him to meet with me, and I offered him the partnership, and he said yes. And there we came up with Kano. Next. Okay, so as you have seen in the video, what is Kano? Kano, by meaning, it's a Japanese term. I hope I don't pronounce it wrong since Kariki is here. But Kano is possible in Japanese, and I knew that I wanted this this translation because I wanted the agency to sort of like, burn up our wings to collaborate with different brands, different agencies, different opportunities, and we have now different services, starting with video production, social media activation management, KOL services, out-of-home services, branding assets, and so on and so forth. Next. Okay, so I guess since this business is sort of new as well, the timing that you see here are, in monthly basis. So I started in January 2020, and then in March 2020, the pandemic comes. And so when I listed down those clients that I knew could work with me with a low budget, they sort of like, take back their opportunity to work with us because the pandemic was shocking for everyone, obviously. And I was stressed out. I thought that it couldn't work out, but they started to realize on April that, everyone was on their phone and digital world was expanding. So the clients came back, and then in June, I started to hire my first employee. And then in July, we got our first office. And then in December, we started our first service expansion, which was the out-of-home service. We made, if you know, and motorbikes like Gojek and Grab, they have like advertisement on the back of their motorbikes, and we made those. And then on July 2021, we moved to a bigger office because our team is now bigger. And then in September, which was this month, we got our third investor offer. So I guess that's sort of like the short journey that we have so far. Next. And this is our clients. So far, we have different brands and different industries, one of them being Dore and also Ipmi, as you can see. So we've worked with different brands and also a different agency. So we have worked with different industries, including FMCG, government, F&B, educational institution, e-commerce, manufacturing, entertainment, agencies, and other collaborators. Next. So I guess the things that I would love to share is how you can love what you do and do what you love. The first key point that I would share is that failing is okay, as long as you have done your best try. Millennials these days, they are, the generation who wants everything to go an instant direction. And I think that's not how work should be and how business should be. It's okay to fail as long as you have done your best try. And then offering is networking. I think I've also learned this from Kariki during one of our first conversation. He said that, even him, he share, he introduced or he interacts with different people to get those network. And I think that's something that I've always been doing as well. I was ashamed to do so, but now I realize that it's okay. When you do business, don't be ashamed to offer your products or services to everyone. And there's no shame in that. And the third point is try anything to know your passion. Now I think like in this generation, lots of people think about the passion first before the work itself. And it's not for everyone that you find passion first. I mean, most people would know that they love singing and they would want to be a singer, but that's not everyone. Sometimes you have to try the work first to know whether you like it or not. And that's what I mean here. Try anything to know your passion. You have to try first to know what you love. Next. Okay, so this is the key to start seeing light in your business, in my perspective. The most important thing is consistency. It's how you consistently do what you do until you finally find the light. The agility is very important. You have to be hard on yourself because pressure is good for you and pressure leads to growth. So you have to have that agility. Love is very important in doing work, business, or whatever you're doing. Because if you love what you do, then you start seeing light in it because you don't feel burdened doing what you do. Invest happiness in your talents. I think this is very important. The people that work with you will work in a good manner and will show growth if they are happy doing what they do. So it's not only about you, it's also about your team and the people who help you work. Focus on building trust before building the amount. Some people, when they start business, their main goal is the money, but sometimes you have to invest on the trust first. That's what I do with my business. At the first and the beginning of my business, I don't think about the money. I think about the people who would trust in the service that I do. So I think it's also helping me out now because they start seeing the trust and they start seeing the services that is trustworthy. So focus on building the trust first before building the amount. Be everywhere. I think this is very important. Maybe if you follow me on socials, then you would see a lot of Kano. I share, multiple times a day about my business because I know that when you are used to seeing my brand, even though you don't follow the social that my brand has, you will be familiar with the word Kano. And I think that's important for the business, for marketing purposes. And last of all, just enjoy the process because business is fun and there are obstacles that you will be stressed about, but if you enjoy the process, you will also get, the gold later on. So yeah, next. Yeah, so that's about it. I guess that's all I'm gonna share. I guess Kariki will share more than I do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Judge. That was a really nice presentation. I think we all get to learn a lot of things. So, guys, we're gonna open the Q&A session right now. If anybody has any questions they wanna ask, please feel free to write it down, and I and Leo will choose the questions that will be answered.
Tuh, Kak Ricky bilang jualan di Tinder is totally okay. He told me that during our first meeting. Okay, Dhruv, are we gonna answer questions or are you gonna move on with Kariki's presentation?
Okay, I have a question. Okay, is that
Okay.
okay? So your business started in the middle of or at the start of the pandemic, right? 2020. So in a situation or in a scenario where all the big businesses closed down, what were the challenges that you had to face to survive till now?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question because my business is something that was born in during the pandemic, which is considered hard for most industries. It's also the chances that you get to take or you get to think about during the pandemic, as if, for example, for my business, we started off with video productions, only video productions, but then seeing the obstacles and the restrictions along the way, video was not something that was easy to go on with, so we expanded the service. We see the chances for social media activation, for instance. So now that's becoming one of our main services, and we see a high demand on it. And also out-of-home services, whereby you get to make advertisements on the road and things like that. So it's about seeing those chances and taking those chances. It's okay to expand. It's okay to try different things. And as I have mentioned, you have to try your best first before you call it a failure. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ka. Now we would like to move to Kariki. So now we would like to welcome Kariki Kano. So welcome, Kariki. Kariki is 2013 graduate from UNSW Sydney, majoring in international business. He's the founder and director of PT Omnia in Indonesia, and the member of Entrepreneurs Organization and the Forbes 30 Under 30 Indonesia 2018. So without any further ado, Kariki, the floor and the time is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for introduction. Let me share my slide. Can you guys see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide.
Awesome. Okay, hi everyone. Nice to meet you. Selamat malam semua. My name is Ricky. I'm actually half Japanese and half Indonesian, sorry. So if I speak in weird language, it's because of my background. So as I was introduced, I'm the founder and director of PT Omyage Inc. Indonesia. We do cakes and cafe sweets business. We have a brand called Dore and also Pancake Co. And I was the president of entrepreneur organization in Indonesia. It's actually the biggest entrepreneur network in the world. And I was a president until last June in the Indonesian chapter. In Indonesia, we have prominent members from some of the public company, family owners and stuff. And I was lucky to lead the organization until last June. And also I was lucky to be part of the Forbes Under 30 and also Prestige 40 Under 40. So today's topic is success before 30, and unfortunately, I'm already past that 30 mark. So hopefully I can share my experience and what I've been through for the last few years in my business. Especially, I would like to share some of the story from a COVID situation, since it's more relevant to people now. Before I share my business, I wanted to share my personal story because I think it's very, very important for you all to have a personal story because a lot of business comes from personal background. So I was born, as I said, I was born as half Japanese, half Indonesian, and Indonesian is actually Arab Indonesian. And this is very, very strong identity for me because I've never seen anyone else that has Arab Indonesian and also Japanese background, except for my sister. And I was born in Japan in a place called Nagano. We had a Winter Olympic Games in 1998. So it's quite famous or popular among international communities, but boleh dibilang kampung. But I love it. So when I was little, I lived in 2 countries, Japan and also in Surabaya. So I've raised within sort of Japanese community, but in 2 different countries. So I went through a bit of a unique background where I've learned Japanese value. Kalau if you guys know, in Japanese school, we clean the room by ourselves and all that kind of Japanese basic values, and also Indonesian values where people are more happy, laid back, and appreciate more of those kind of stuff. And on the right hand side, I was emo. I was playing band and all that stuff. Kind of embarrassing high school memories. But I was in Singapore. I went to Japanese school in high school, Japanese school in Singapore. So all in my life, my educational background was Japanese until I went to Australia for university. And as you can see in Australia, I was playing football and just a normal university life. But I think one of the biggest thing is that I was part of the international community, a lot of local Australian people, since that's why I speak a bit of Aussie accent. And I have a lot of friends from Vietnam, Hong Kong, China, you can name it, a lot of people from all over the world. So that's how I went through my school days. And in 2013, I came back to Indonesia thinking, what to do in my life. Before coming back, I was actually in university. I was part of entrepreneur community, just hanging out, not really doing business or anything. But there's a time, if you guys remember 2011, there was a big tsunami in Japan. And when I saw that on TV, you see tsunami and a lot of people running away, and some people obviously, swamped by the tsunami, and a lot of people dying and all that stuff. And I felt like I have to do something. I have to do to help Japan. And that was like the first moment in my life I really moved my ass off to do something for my own country. So within a week, I've actually, with the entrepreneur community, we've dapat more than like $20,000 to donate to Japan. And that was sort of like my fundamental experience of, ternyata entrepreneurs, people who actually do something, actually make a difference, big difference in life. So I was very much moved by that idea, and I learned a lot through that experience. And after I came back to Indonesia, there's one time I was flying to Japan to meet my family, and then I was looking for a souvenir in Indonesia, and turned out I was a bit disappointed by the selection of the souvenirs from Indonesia to outside Indonesia. So I had an idea, why would I just make it like in Japan? Because if you've been to Japan, or if you've seen somewhere about Japanese sweets, there are a lot of interesting sweets from different area. Every region has its own unique taste, and all that kind of stuff is available in Japan. So I wanted to create that idea in Indonesia. And as you see, unfortunately, this is how you see in Indonesia, packagingnya kurang, and kemana-mana semua bapia, and isinya semua sama. So you go to Bali, ada bapia, ada Medan, ada bapia, everything is basically same. So I thought it's kurang creative. Padahal di Indonesia, we have a lot of potential. So if you go to different parts of Indonesia, there's a lot of different culture, different suku, and all that kind of stuff. Menurut aku sangat-sangat unik dan something that we have to utilize. So that's how I set up my company, with that idea. How can I use my background being Japanese and Indonesian? My Japanese is obviously know-how, udah historinya udah ada, udah experience udah ada. How can I utilize Indonesian potential? So how I set up my company is purely coming out of my background. That's why I ask you guys, what is your story? And I think it's very, very important part of my life. Our company vision is happy, delicious moment. Jadi awalnya kita mulai dari oleh-oleh concept, gifting concept. Oleh-oleh kebetulan it's a gift that has sort of kayak daerah concept, it's oleh-oleh. But in general, it's a gifting, right? So we focus on, sementara ini we focus on Jakarta market, and we are doing cafe business as well. So our vision is basically, it's called Happy Delicious Moment. So we want to deliver happiness and delicious moment all together. And our mission in our business is creating a trusted brands. And we have other missions. Maybe it's less important for you guys, but we actually carry these kind of mission day to day in our company operation. This is our brand, Dore. This is the first business I've started because our Japanese partner owns the brand called Latao dari Hokkaido. Jadi kita kerja sama mereka. Right now, we are mainly doing cakes, kue ulang tahun, cookies. Boleh dibilang kayak Harvest, if you guys know Harvest. Mirip-mirip, tapi we focusing in shopping mall, especially because we take a little more premium segment and concept compared to the Harvest. And one of the most important thing in our brand, it's called sharing love through sweets. So what I mean by this is basically jualan kue itu sebenarnya you can do it as well. Anyone can do it, you know. You can make a cake like, you know, in an hour. Everybody can do it by yourself at home kan. Nah, gimana kita membedakan sama orang yang bikin di rumah gitu kan? And when we think about it, whatever we do is actually membantu orang sharing love to others. We call it for the loved ones as well. So basically what we do, konsep packaging, produk apa, itu membantu customer kita kasih cinta kepada orang yang tersayangnya mereka. For example, for you to give it to your boyfriend, girlfriend, orang tua, it's basically the whole purpose of us selling cakes is actually not the selling cakes, but kasih cinta itu yang paling penting. So we made this nice video actually made by Naz. I wanted to share to you guys. This is very touching and amazing video. I actually cried earlier tadi nonton sendiri and it was really touching.
Musume desu. Sepupu aku, Diana. Dia baru aja pass away. Mama saya, ibunya Oma. My kids. My mom, my dad. Cinta itu kayak bukan sekedar hubungan antara kita dan pacar, tapi everything we need to be. Kita mau sharing bersama.
Love is great.
Mencintai itu adalah lo bisa mengikhlaskan. Karena gue sadar gue mencintai anak gue, tapi gue sadar gue harus let go. 自分を大切にすること、自分が気持ちいいこと、楽しいこと。Harus kamu cintai keluarga kamu. Karena itu cinta Oma. Karena itu pesan dari ibu Oma.
Gila, amazing video, Nas. Amazing, amazing. So, so that's Dore, and we set up this brand called Pancake Co. in 2019. It's because when we do Dore, the problem of our brand is kita nggak ada tempat orang bisa enjoy cakes kita karena konsep kita itu gifting, orang bawa pulang ke rumah gitu. So what we've tried is basically creating a space where we can offer Dore experience as a eat-in concept. Nah, kebetulan our partner in Japan has a little pancake cafe. Nggak terlalu laku sih kalau di Jepang sebenarnya, but they have amazing products. So we actually learned from Japan, and we created a brand called the Pancake Co. And sebenarnya it's very simple, but we carry this. It's actually a new concept, especially since pandemic. This is the business that we've been super struggling. Obviously orang nggak bisa datang ke cafe. And pancake itu gampang kempes, so it's not delivery friendly product. So we create another concept namanya Happy Together Time, di mana orang datang ke tempat kita benar-benar mau bikin orang ini happy, bukan cuma makan aja, tapi we give extra experience, like we give some games to play, we give some experience that they can enjoy. So those kind of things are the one that we focus in the Pancake Co. And all in all, kita sekarang ada 8 7 plus 1 titik untuk Dore and Pancake all together, focusing in Jakarta. Honestly, after pandemic masih banyak struggle. So so today I kind of wanted to share a few things that I've learned and that I focus in this pandemic time. So I wanted to start with the 3 things today. This is something that I've learned and also focus, especially after pandemic. First is focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. The second is see the positive side or the opportunity. The third one is take massive actions. Okay. So obviously, 2020 was tough year, right? I'm pretty sure for those of you who's looking for jobs, trying to do business, all these kind of stuff, it's just very, very tiring and all that kind of stuff. And imagine you send yourself back to 2020. Can you guys write down one feeling? What do you feel about 2020? Boleh write down one word di chat enggak? Any feeling that you felt, kesel ke apa ke, anything, 2020, boleh write down and then share to your friends, yeah? Okay. Since I'm presenting, I can't see your chat, but I'm going to continue. My one word, it's actually progress. My one word is progress. Because I've learned so much, I've learned so many things through this pandemic. Justru aku sebenarnya sekarang sangat appreciate the fact that ada pandemi. Not about people's passing and all that kind of stuff, tapi jujur ngomong, I've learned so much in 2020. Justru sekarang I'm so happy living my life right now. Right? So if I explain or if I share my story, end of March sebelum pandemi, I was actually having a wedding in April. Tanggal 15 April was my wedding day. Obviously it's canceled. Semua booking batal. Teman-teman aku dari Jepang mau datang, dari Australia mau datang, semua dibatal. We managed to do akad tanggal 30 Maret, which was my birthday. Jadi I didn't have a proper wedding. My wedding akad, my parents couldn't come. Jadi my family saya yang datang itu cuma my tante, my close uncle, sama my brother. That's it. My parents even didn't show up to the wedding. Awal-awal pandemi kan takut kan orang keluar gitu. And tanggal 15 Maret, the funny thing is I opened a shop. That's a very good decision. But obviously, we had a yell sebelum buka. Let's do it. We're ready to serve a lot of customer. Nas juga datang. Thanks for coming waktu itu. Unfortunately, we closed down that shop this month, a week ago. And obviously, the pandemic hit, right? And we've probably fired more than 50 people. Karena kalau namanya business F&B itu banyak orang ya. Unfortunately, we had to let go. Jadi yang tadinya kemarin yell, 3 hari lagi kita kirim email, sorry, we're not continuing you. You're out of the company. You know how painful that is. Jujur ngomong dulu, aku bisnis itu fokus banyak diri sendiri. Suka apa? Bukan gengsi atau apa ya. It's just that I felt good to be successful in certain way. Tapi mendekat ke sini, I don't really care about myself, to be honest. Obviously, namanya bisnis harus financially successful, but I'm still struggling in terms of finance. Karena kalau kurang duit di company, I still spend as well. But I care a lot more about people around me. So, I'm pretty sure you've probably experienced something similar in your life, especially this pandemic. It's really heavy for all of you guys, right? And now I have a question to you all. So imagine you're ready to go out, right? Terus tiba-tiba hujan, di luar hujan gitu. What can you do? Would you be mad because you wanted to go out and tiba-tiba, wah, tadinya sunny day mau jalan-jalan sama pacarnya, nggak bisa kemana-mana sekarang? Or would you focus on what you can do, or how think about how to enjoy in the rain? This is one big question that I always ask people as well. And I thought this is something similar to the pandemic situation. Begitu ada sesuatu yang nggak bisa kontrol, what can you do? Kalau duduk ngomel-ngomel, cry, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, right? It's just you're just boleh bilang you lose to the situation. And being entrepreneur, a lot of times this kind of thing can happen. So makanya aku tadi bilang focus on what you can focus on what you can do. Jangan focus on things that you cannot control. Ya contohnya hujan, there's nothing you can do. So you always have to focus on what you can do. And then the second one is part of focus on what you can do, you always have to find the opportunity. And kebetulan pandemi atau this kind of uncertainty, mungkin Nas juga sama kali ya. Begitu pandemi, pada saat dulunya orang nggak terlalu fokus digital marketing, tiba-tiba orang fokus ke digital marketing, which is called opportunity, right? So what is the opportunity when it rains? Ya, contohnya kalau hujan mungkin bisa enjoy raining, listen to some like nice jazz music, minum kopi. That's something that you can't have when it's sunny, right? So there's always opportunities, always around di mana you can enjoy that situation. Gitu. Kalau in the business, what I've done, for example, there's a lot of new marketing opportunity. Tadinya kita ada spending di event lah, apalah, kita semua ganti ke digital, obviously, right? That's why we made a video. We never done the video before. Sekarang jujur ngomong, we even hired internal videographer. Gitu. And obviously we focus on online and customer service platform. Kita sekarang online sales itu boleh kira-kira boleh dibilang 10-15 kalinya sebelum pandemi. And also new innovation, right? There's always opportunity. Tadinya nggak laku, tapi sekarang tiba-tiba bisa jadi laku. Gitu. So those are the things that I've seen. I don't know about you guys, but there's always a situation where you can take it as an opportunity. So that's the second point that I thought is very, very important. And then once you see the opportunity, once you see the opportunity, you have to take massive actions. Massive action itu arti kata you need to commit and then do a bigger actions. Kalau merasa bisanya 2, don't do 2, just do 10. If you try to do 10, pastinya lebih daripada 2. Iya kan? Kayak kalian apa ya? What's a good example? If you workout for example. If you try to do push up 10 aja deh, 10 kali cukup. Atau you try 50 times. If you do try 50 times, pastinya nggak bakal jadi stop di 10 kan. Mungkin you can do 20 or 30 or 40. This is very, very important in terms of mindset ya. Once you set your own target actions, jangan merasa this is what you can do. You have to actually target even uncomfortable target gitu. Okay? So this is just an example of things that I've done. Makanya I said I appreciate the fact that ada pandemi karena I've done so many things that we've improved as a company, so many things that I feel like dulu sebelum pandemi itu kita sebagai perusahaan itu jauh lebih kalah compared to bigger companies. Sekarang aku merasa I'm not too far off from them gitu. Certain things that we are doing is actually better than them. Kenapa? Because we took opportunity in this pandemic situation. And I wanted to share one concept that we do this in our company. It was part of our mission tadi. Itu namanya kodawari. Kodawari in Japanese, it's a Japanese word. Artinya in English, it's a dedication to quality. What I mean by kodawari is basically you look into the details. Jadi begitu apa ya? If you look at something, kalau dari jauh-jauh, you can't really see things. Oh mungkin bisanya garis besarnya aja. But when you look into the details, you can see a lot of details, right? Kayak handprint, fingerprint, whatever that is. So looking into detail is very, very important. Tadinya merasa 10 oke, ternyata itu bukan 10, 10,2345. Nah, then you need to fix that. Gitu. The second one is dedication to quality. Jadi kita di company kita itu selalu mengatakan kodawari. It's actually our mission and our slogan as well. We say super kodawari in our company meetings, but we push each other to actually look into better quality every single day. And that comes into the taking every single aspect ya, bukan cuma product quality, tapi cara kita ngomong, cara kita kirim message, everything everything that we can improve, it's part of this mindset Kodawari. And this is something that we've been working on since awal-awal business. Mungkin that's why pada saat pandemi kita bisa quickly shift and improve so many points because of this mindset. So so these three things yang tadi aku bilang, focus on what you can control. The second one is selalu looking to opportunity, stay positive. The third one is taking massive actions. And after I've been working on these 3 points, right now I'm really happy. And I wanted to share 3 things that I've learned from this pandemic. So learning one is we're all in the same storm, right? But different ships. And artinya apa? Selalu bilang we're all in the same ship. I don't agree. We're all different, right? You and me and other people around, we're all different. Jadi kita kapalnya beda. Tapi cuacanya ini sama nih. Pandemi lagi nggak tenang, everyone sama gitu. Nah, yang penting we look into our ship and then look into other ship and then we learn from each other gitu. Jangan merasa sendiri nih. And in the business, this is one of the thing that happens all the time in the business. Itu pasti nanti merasa alone. Kok kayak gini ya? Aku sendirian kayak gini ya. Gitu. So don't worry, you're not alone. Everyone's struggling. Kiri kanan semua struggling. Enjoy the process, as Nas bilang. Struggle is part of the journey. And yang penting, how can you learn from different ships? The second point is there's no definite certainty in business or in life. Artinya, kayak naik pesawat lah ya. If you guys, kalau terbang kemana-mana, pasti ada turbulence. And turbulence is actually part of the experience of the flying experience gitu. Jangan expect turbulence itu nggak ada. And that expectation itu makes you unhappy because once ada turbulence, kaget dong. Kok ada turbulence? And in life or even in business, justru turbulence is day-to-day life gitu. Selalu goyang-goyang gitu. So jangan expect certainty, to be honest. There's no certainty in life or in business. In other words, what would you do when it rains? Kalau hujan, yang penting kita ada actions towards uncertainty. Nomor 3, business is super tough. Super tough. Kalau ada data, kalau nggak salah di dalam 5 tahun 90% bisnis itu gagal. So gagal, it's okay, totally cool gitu. You're still alive, you're not gonna die. And because of that, I want you all to appreciate others. And this is a very important part of my journey and my business as well, because we give gifts, we sell gifts to people that actually give it to someone else. Appreciation is very important part of our company as well. Just ask yourself, how many times do you say thank you to people? Ini satu hal aku belajar di Australia, actually. Di Australia itu naik bis, naik apa, selalu bilang thank you to the driver. And I've never seen that in other countries. People don't say thank you to the public workers. Jadi aku sekarang usahakan sebisa mungkin bilang terima kasih, because the more I said thank you, the more grateful I feel. So it's very important for all of you to appreciate in the business journey, or even the outside business juga. So in closing, what's your story? And ini something that I want to repeat again and again, but I'm pretty sure masing-masing kalian punya cerita-cerita sangat-sangat menarik ya. Jadi jangan cuma dengar punya saya and then kayak bilang wah apa. It's my story, and I've met a lot of different people, a lot of interesting people in the business, outside business. I've done 1,000 or even more interviews. A lot of times everyone has memang ada sesuatu yang interesting gitu. So hopefully you can make the best out of it, and you feel confident. You feel confident and proud of yourself, and you can use your story to do something to do good for community or others too. And the last thing I wanted to share is whatever it takes. Honestly, I was lucky to be born to certain family background as well. My family does business, so I utilize that a lot. connection. I ask my parents about connection. I ask around a lot of things. I ask a lot of helps from people. But who cares, right? Whatever it takes. If you want to make it, nggak boleh ada gengsi, nggak boleh ada malu. Just do whatever you think. Part of it is, as I share, aku dulu jualan di Tinder, right? Di Tinder connect people. Pas masih jomblo ya. Now I'm married, but I don't do it. But when I was jomblo, I used to sell through Tinder. Malu? Ya, malu, tapi whatever it takes, right? I made probably kira-kira 2M, 3M total sales di dalam bisnis saya gara-gara connection dari Tinder. Why not juga kan? That's my sharing. Hopefully it's inspiring enough for all of you. Kalau ada pertanyaan or anything, feel free to message me on Instagram as well. I'm pretty sure nggak ada waktu hari ini untuk jawab semua pertanyaan, tapi feel free to ask me anything on my Instagram. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Kariki. That was actually really fun to hear. And I think one of the things that stuck in my head was uncertainty is equal to opportunity. That's really true, because different mindsets in different situations, it's amazing what you can do, because it could show you something, it could show you your strengths, or it could show you your weaknesses. So thank you, that was really nice. So now I would like to open the Q&A session. So we already have a lot of questions here, but I would recommend people that if you have questions, please write them down in the chat box. So we're gonna start off with a question from Ka Angel. Ka Angel said, this is for Kanas. So she wrote, how do you compete with other ad agencies, Kanas? I see that now there are many ad agencies in Indonesia and serving various market segments.
Okay. Okay, that's a very good question because I started out sebenarnya pas mulai itu during my bachelor years, aku tuh suka salah satu agency yang menurut aku menarik banget. Cara dia membawa employees-nya ke public, cara dia package company-nya dan lain-lain. Nah, dan dari situ tapi ada beberapa hal yang aku kurang pas dengan si agency ini. Makanya ketika aku bikin Kano itu aku package dengan cara yang sesuai dengan aku suka gitu. Nah, gimana caranya compete ketika banyak banget agency di luar sana? To be honest, it's very hard for me as a newbie to directly contact big companies. Mungkin kayak Unilever, yang big companies itu sangat susah untuk masuk karena mereka udah punya beberapa trusted agencies yang mereka pegang. Nah, gimana caranya? Ya, we go with the blue ocean strategy. Gimana caranya kita masuk dengan cara-cara yang other agencies nggak offer nih. Itu Kano offer. Contohnya misalnya if we're talking about social media management, itu banyak sekali agency yang membuat services-nya itu dengan template karena mereka nggak punya banyak waktu gitu. Nah, kita lebih personal connection sama si agency-nya, sama brand-nya, dan kita offer beberapa hal yang lebih personalized dengan mereka. Dan mereka pun merasa mereka lebih diperhatikan karena itu gitu. Terus misalnya untuk video productions, kalau kita nggak bisa tembus ke perusahaan besarnya, ya kita lewat agensi yang dipakai perusahaan besar itu gitu. Jadi ya kita mencari beberapa opportunities yang akhirnya kita tetap bisa melakukan services kita gitu.
Alright, thank you, Kak Angel. I hope that answers your question. Now moving on to the next question is from Rohidin. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly. And this is for Pariki. He wrote, how build a company? First steps, not only capital and relation.
Oh, how to build a company? Just start off something, I guess. Menurut aku company itu, ini something that I've learned from people as well. So, jadi bikin perusahaan itu jangan mikir bikin perusahaan dulu sebenarnya. Bayangin aja kayak misalkan if you're photographer ya, contohnya ambil foto, jual jasa itu ke orang lain, itu already sebenarnya it's a form of business already, right? Nggak ada PT pun sebenarnya nggak apa-apa. Tapi dengan adanya PT itu adalah mungkin tanggung jawabnya lebih jelas, structure-nya udah ada, pemiliknya udah jelas, Those are the things that memang ada tanggung jawab dan lain-lain. That's the company part. But in terms of starting off the company itself, menurut aku nggak terlalu penting sebenarnya. And when I started my business, memang I thought of that as well. Maksudnya kayak cara bikin PT gimana, how to bikin structure gimana. Those are things yang apa ya namanya? It comes out easily in the Google as well, so you can search. But yang paling penting itu adalah think about what you want to sell, right? Service, makan, whatever that is. And you have to think about, what's the pricing. Those are the fundamental business part that you need to think about gitu. Jadi kalau ngomong first step of the business, jangan mikir structure dulu. I think just simply think about what can you sell in return of you receive money. Ininya dulu. And kebetulan I actually thought of cakes because I wanted to create Indonesian souvenir. So that's the idea. And then baru ada produk dan lain-lain. Sorry, I'm not really helping that question, but this is a very generic question. So that's the idea behind how I started.
All right, thank you, Kariki and Mr. Rodin. I hope that answers your question. So now, Kariki, we have another question from Ka Injo, and then she wrote that, how do you create innovation on your food and beverage business during this pandemic? Is there any moment or change that you find as a turning point of your business or life in general?
Kalau innovation, I think you just go out hunting a lot of ideas. I believe idea is basically based on experience. Obviously, idea wouldn't come out kalau nggak ada experience kan ya. Jadi dulu memang kalau pandemi itu I used to spend a lot of time on Instagram, Pinterest, pokoknya cari-cari terus gitu. And I try to go out and look for other ideas juga. And not just in the F&B business, but kalau misalkan marketing perspective kan you can learn a lot from other brands, right? For example, how I manage my online process dan business structure in terms of our service in the Dore, itu I learn a lot from Fabelio, if you guys know online furniture shop. It's nothing to do with F&B, right? So that's how I learn the structure of the customer service process. That's part of I believe that's part of innovation in our company gitu. Cara jualannya gimana gitu-gituan. Kalau idea, you can learn a lot of idea from others. Try to combine ideas. Sometimes ideas can be combined, right? If you want to be a special person, for example, daripada mikir 1 in a million idea, mungkin you can combine 1 out of 100 times 100 idea, 1 out of 100 idea combined, maybe jadi 1 in 10,000 gitu. So combining idea is something that I always try to do. If I give example, waktu pandemi ini, we started this product called pancake burger. It's basically stacking pancake in a burger shape. Karena dulu pancake kita itu nggak bisa delivery, kita mau bikin produk delivery, and one of the ideas that pancake shape itu bisa tahan gitu. Jadi itu satu idea yang we've created. But the basic idea is actually, obviously you can look for it in online juga. Bukan we're the first one to do it. And any moment chance that I found as a turning point of my business and life in general. My turning point is the one that I share in my presentation, actually, tsunami sih. So that's the time that I felt like, wah ini aku harus kerjain sesuatu untuk membantu orang gitu. And then that's where I was close to entrepreneur community, di mana I was so influenced by that actions. Kayak within 1 week of tsunami, kita dapat kira-kira donation of $20,000. And within that process, aku juga ikutan minta donasi gitu. And that's a sales process lah intinya. Hey, someone's struggling, can you donate? And that was big influences in my life. I think that was the time that my heart moved gitu. I still feel, masih ingat gitu loh. My heart was like pumping and I have to do something. That was my turning point.
Okay, thank you, Kariki. And we have the last question here. It's from Stefanus. And he says, thank you Thank you to both inspirative speakers for an insightful, thoughtful, and mindset. While running a business, are you not afraid of failure? Set up a big goal could increase greater risk of failure. How do you manage the risk? So this is for both the speakers. So the question is, how do you manage risk?
Nas, you want to answer?
I think you should go first, Kak.
How do I manage risk? Honestly, I don't know. I've never managed risk, to be honest. Tapi sebelum take actions, obviously there's a lot of process lah. Intinya benar-benar mikir, try to analyze. And at the end of the day, I always ask my heart. And I'm not that smart. I'm not that bad, but I've seen a lot, smarter people. And I felt like if I give my sharing, aku pernah ke kantor Gojek, terus I had a meeting with one of the director, one of the owner, temannya Nadim gitu. And di mejanya itu kayak ada kertas kayak algorithm gitu loh. And then when I saw it, I'm like, wah, ini kayak different dunia nih, kayak I'm selling a cake and this company is actually looking into like a crazy numbers gitu kan. And that's when I thought I cannot be that smart gitu loh. Right? So I felt like sometimes I need to follow my heart, and if my heart say something, sometimes aku cuekin my brain gitu, karena makin mikir makin pusing, makin nggak benar biasanya. So that's one idea that I always do. I always listen to my heart. And the second part is kalau ada partners, Nas juga ada partners. I always think that it's really nice to have a partners yang punya different opinion. Jadi selalu ada different perspective. Daripada satu, obviously ada 2-3 perspektif, less likely to fail juga. Tapi at the end of the day, my partner juga follow his heart. Jadi we always follow our heart. And sisanya, we need to work hard. I guess when we make a decision, we think this is the right decision. We need to trust and then sebisa mungkin semangat. And after that, kalau gagal, okay juga. Yang penting kita belajar dari gagalnya. Real failure, I believe it's not learning anything out of failure. Even success juga sebenarnya. If you success, but if you don't learn anything, you might not be replicating that success in a year or so, right? Jadi yang penting, I think keep learning and enjoying that learning process, because that's the only way you can probably be successful, not in the business but in life.
Oke, kalau buat aku mungkin susah ya pertanyaannya, karena starting a business itself is a risk to begin with gitu. Jadi kalau aku sih how to manage risk, mungkin selalu punya backup plan. Jadi ketika melakukan sesuatu udah mikirin kalau terjadi tidak sesuai harapan apa yang terjadi, apa yang akan dilakukan, terus set target juga. Jadi paling nggak ada tujuan ketika melakukan risk tadi. Dan ya udah, kalau misalnya tidak tercapai, paling nggak kita udah siap dengan backup plan-nya. Tapi so far dengan cara itu, apapun yang aku lakukan itu selalu sesuai harapan sih, karena mungkin udah prepare ya dengan research-nya, dengan backup plan-nya dan lain-lain. Jadi melakukan segala sesuatunya juga udah siap gitu.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Stephanos. Thank you, speakers. That's enough for the Q&A session, guys. If any of you would like to continue forward with your questions, Kariki and Kana's social media will be provided in the comment section. You can feel free to message them. And now I would like to return the session to Jasmine. And before that, I would like to remind everyone, please fill out the form for a Google form to get your e-certificate. Thank you. Jasmine, the time and floor is yours now.
Okay, thank you, Drew, Nazneen, and Kariki for the insightful session. How guys, do you guys still excited? Before we close today's session, we will have a little games, Kahoot games. For your information, for the one who wins this game will get a golden ticket and present from us. So Fikri, could you help me please?
Sure, Jasmine. Good evening, everyone. Are you ready for having games? Okay, let me share the screen. So prepare your device. Okay, can you see my screen, Jasmine?
Yes.
Okay, please open your device, preparing, then input the game pin. Here's 6339725. Okay, come on.
There will be a present for this game, guys. Enjoy. Don't forget, guys, this game have a golden ticket and present from us.
Sure, agree, Jasmine. So come on, everyone. I'm still waiting. The present is waiting for you guys. Come on. Game pin, just open your Google and then search play. And then enter the pin 6339725. Come on. I see there's 83 participants here. I do believe there's a lot of enthusiastic participants here. Come on, guys. The president is waiting for you. Six person, come on, guys. Seven, come on. Okay, come on, guys. I'm waiting here. Okay, come on, everyone. Good on it. Come on. Jasmine, we provide an interesting present, right, for our winner.
Yes, there's a golden ticket and some merchandise from Ipmi. So, come enjoy that.
Okay.
There's a game here, 6339725.
Okay, where's the others? 32. Okay, we will wait in a minute again. How about 1 minute to go, Jasmine? Okay. We're still waiting for you guys. 33. Come on. I know you want the present, guys.
let's start master quiz.
Okay, let's restart it. Okay. The first question in 3, 2, 1. What is the full name of the lady speaker? Come on!
Come on, guys. It's
Come on, be careful. This is a tricky. Be careful.
Ah. Guys.
Careful. One alphabet could be dangerous, guys. Be careful. Okay. Yay. The full name of the ladies speaker is Nazneen. Be careful. I saw 13% choose Nazneen. It's without N. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's proceed to the next question.
Okay, let's see.
Whoa. The first is Ihsan, the second is Money, and who is this? Okay, let's next.
For the second question, what is the name of charity company, guys?
Careful.
Careful, guys.
Careful, guys. Whoa. 18% answering the right. Okay, and then some of them, okay. Whoa, Carissa and Kaholi, I guess it is. Today's topic is how to conduct business above 30. Is it right or is it wrong?
True or false?
Okay, it's almost equal between the who answering the right and then who answering the wrong. Oh, there's something adjustment here. Okay, what country did Canada visit in 2019? Anyone remember?
Yeah, there is Canadian presentation, guys.
Agree, Jasmine. I do believe some of the participants must focus on this.
Yeah.
Okay, 21%. Correct. Let's see. Whoa. Okay.
For the next question, key to start seeing light in your vision.
If I'm not mistaken, Carrie, what is this?
There is some option which focus on building trust, consistency, or all it is correct. Right?
Whoa, 29%. Correct. Let's see the result. Okay, Kaholi on the first move. Uncertainty equal opportunity. Right or wrong? Come on, guys. Yay, 27. Whoa. Kodawari. Okay. Anyone remember about this concept?
Forget, guys, there is a lab. Where is the concept of lab?
Okay, only 9%. Whoa, who is this? Okay, let's see. The last question. Below, you can find pancake by door at this location. Careful, guys. Be careful.
careful, guys.
Okay. Are you ready? Let's see the result of this question. Okay, the third podium. Yes, yay, congratulations. The second, money, okay. Who's gonna be the first? Let's see. The winner is Mila, yay, congratulations all. Okay, let's look at the screen first. Okay, for the one who win this game, you can contact Kabagawan that his contact is already attached on the chat box. Okay, thank you so much everyone for participating this quiz. I will give it back the time and the screen to Jasmine. Okay, please Jasmine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Fikri. Congratulations to all the winners. But before we close our session today, my friend Nur Rahmat will deliver some information for you guys. So Nur Rahmat, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. That's the screen. Wait. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Rahmat. You can call me Rahmat. I'm one of student at Ipmi International Business School. Well, before we move to the agenda, I want to explain a little bit about Ipmi International Business School. Because I think you in here or your family or your friends what want to study in business can choose Ipmi International Business School. So Ipmi International Business School is a business school in Indonesia with an international curriculum located in Kalibata of South Jakarta. Lalu ada yang bertanya, apa sih keunggulan dari Ipmi? Jadi Ipmi is the first business school in Indonesia that use full English in delivery and its learning. In addition, in learning Ipmi also use the same case study method as the Harvard Business Case Study. That is what makes Ipmi an international standard business school in Indonesia. And in Ipmi, study program has only one study program, namely business administration, but have 4 streaming, that is human capital, finance, marketing, and international business. And for the scholarship, don't be afraid, Ipmi always make a scholarship every year. The requirements are simply only send the photocopy of grade 3 per 10 or 11 grades with an average of 8.0 and above. And also, if anyone has a competition certificate, you can attach it so that the chance of getting scholarship are given bigger. After that, you will get interview the faculty member, and you know what you get percentage of your scholarship. And maybe that's just a brief explanation from me. If you have any question or need further information, please contact this number, Dangjo or Ipmi undergrad. Thank you, Jasmine. Screen back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nur Rahmat, for your information. Now we are at the end of this session, guys. I want to inform you that on Saturday, September 2nd, there will be an Ipminar enrichment class. Register now and point to your calendar. If you want to get the e-certificate, please fulfill the feedback link on the chat box. That is all from us. I want to apologize for any mistake that I made. Thank you to Professor Aman, Miss Yulita, Miss Rifa, Miss Hidratunaim, Miss Liza, Miss Leah, all the speaker, Iesb team, and all participants. Thank you for joining our session today. Stay healthy, safe, and productive. I'm Jasmine. See you at the next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, everyone.
Now,
Now.
now, now,
Now.
now,
No?
No.
now, now, now.
It's
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 it's your time.
your time.
My time. My time.
Your time.
My time.
Your time. Your time. My time. Now it's your time.
You have the choice to make changes, and it starts with an action. You take the first step, and that's where we see that leadership, it is not a position.